Omaha Boss Sacked Me, my comeback stung hard. My new boss fired me after my best quarter. He thought I was replaceable. That was the moment I stopped being his soldier. If this story moved, you don't forget to drop a comment and subscribe to Viora for more unforgettable stories that speak to the heart. I'm Lucas Granger, 48 top sales director in Omaha, Nebraska. 10 years at Horizon Enterprises, a logistics firm, made me the guy who sealed deals others couldn't touch. I grew their client base from a dozen to 80, pulling in $12 million annually. Not a tycoon, but solid $220,000 a year, a split-level house, a Chevy Silverado, and a life with my wife, Krista, 39. She's a marketing consultant, sharp with a laugh that could sell ice in a blizzard. 9 years married, no kids, but we had a groove. Her pitching campaigns, me closing contracts. I thought my numbers were bulletproof. Then Daryl Vance, 46, the new sales VP, stormed in and tore my world apart. It started subtle. Daryl, a corporate climber from Chicago, strutted into Horizon with spreadsheets and a corner office. He called my methods dated in team huddles, smirking. I'd built our revenue, 65% of it, through handshakes, not algorithms. But Daryl wanted streamlined efficiency. Younger reps, lower commissions. I caught him eyeing my accounts, my office. Then Krista started slipping. Late nights at her agency. Phone buzzing, always locked. Client pitches, she'd say, eyes darting. I found a $500 receipt for a steakhouse in Omaha we'd never been to. Work dinner? She shrugged. My gut twisted. But sales were my armor, so I pushed it down. Doubt's a slow blade. By fall, Daryl's reorg hit. He called me in Thai, loose grin smug. Lucas, you're out. We need fresh blood. Leaner. 10 years and he axed me like I was nothing. You're a Rolodex in a digital age, he sneered. I signed the severance, walked out, his laugh trailing me. My team reps I'd trained stared stunned. I kept my head high, but inside, I was breaking. Home wasn't a refuge. Krista was distant, her kisses cold. One night, her laptop was open on the kitchen table. I wasn't snooping, just closing it. An email popped up. From Daryl Vance. Last night was worth it. Lucas is gone. Plans on. My chest caved. I scrolled. Messages dozens. You're my spark, Daryl wrote. A photo of Krista in a dress I didn't know, his arm around her. A $2,000 hotel bill. 9 years and she'd betrayed me. With my boss, I shut the laptop, hand shaking. Krista slept upstairs, her hair spilling over the pillow. I wanted to storm in, demand answers. But I didn't. I planned. I called my buddy Pete Callahan, 50, a corporate lawyer who'd seen every kind of backstab. We met at a diner, coffee steaming. Lucas, you sure? Pete asked, brow furrowed. Krista's cheating with Daryl. He's got a scheme. I need the truth. Pete scribbled a name. Nora Hayes. P.I. She's a pit bull. Cost, but she delivers. I pocketed it, resolve like iron. Nora was a dynamo, mid-40s with a no-nonsense glare. We met in her office, files everywhere. What do you want, Granger? She asked. Everything. Krista's lies, Daryl's game, their end game. She nodded. 2 weeks. Keep it normal. Normal. Like I could with my career and marriage in flames. I played the part. Kissed Krista goodbye. Cleared my desk at Horizon. Smiled when Daryl bragged about new blood. But every moment was a lie. Nora worked fast. Her first report hit my inbox, photos of Krista and Daryl at an Omaha rooftop bar, her lips on his. Bank records showing $20,000 drained from our joint account, moved to a new one in her name. Emails between Daryl and a board member, Victor Ramsey, 62, planning to poach my clients for a rival firm. The worst, Daryl wasn't just Krista's lover. He was Victor's pawn, using my trust to gut Horizon's revenue. My deals, my life stolen. I sat in my truck rain, hammering the roof, reading Nora's file. This wasn't just a revenge story, it was a corporate hijack. I could have confronted Krista, blown it up. But I'm smarter than that. I called Pete. Set up a meeting with Horizon's board, I said. I've got something they need to see. Pete hesitated. This is big, Lucas. Ready. I gripped the phone. They buried me. I'm climbing out. The board meeting was days away. I didn't tell Krista I'd be there. She thought I was jobless adrift. I stood outside Horizon's glass tower, watching Daryl schmooze clients I'd brought in. My heart burned for the man I'd been. Then Nora called. Got more, she said. Audio. Daryl and Victor at a client lunch. They're planning to tank Horizon, start their own firm. I listened in my garage, tools silent. Daryl's voice smug. Lucas's clients are ours. Krista's the key. My blood boiled. I sent it to Pete. This goes to the board, I said. And the clients. The first twist hit hard. Nora traced the new account to a shell company linked to Victor Ramsey. Daryl had promised him a cut of the new venture if my clients were poached. Krista wasn't just cheating, she was a tool in a corporate coup. I met Nora at a coffee shop, dawn breaking. What's next? I asked. She sipped her latte, eyes sharp. Confront her, now it's chaos, or play their game smarter. I leaned back, mind racing. Krista thought I'd stay quiet. Daryl thought he'd won. Victor thought he owned the board. They were wrong. Let's end them, I said, voice low. Pete filed a whistleblower report with the board attaching Nora's evidence. I hired a forensic accountant, Ellen Walsh, 44, to dig into our finances. $150,000 gone over 9 years. Savings, bonuses, marketing expenses. My life's work siphoned for Krista's lies. Ellen's report was a weapon. You've got her, she said, handing it over. They're done. But they weren't. Krista came home, eyes red. Lucas, we need to talk, she said, voice shaky. I let her in wary. She sat twisting her ring. I messed up. Daryl's not what I thought. I'm scared. My heart tugged, old habits dying hard. Then her phone buzzed. Daryl's name. A text. Stick to the plan. She was playing me. Again. Get out, I said, voice cold. She blinked, shocked. Lucas, please out. She fled, purse clutched tight. I exhaled, the air heavy. No more lies. I called Pete. Send everything to the board. Now. The next day I walked into the board's office, Ellen's report in hand. The chair, Doctor. Margaret Holt, 59, skimmed it, jaw tight. This is serious, she said. Serious, I said, leaning in. It's fraud. Betrayal. Tell Daryl his empire's at stake. Holt nodded, rattled. I walked out, sunlight hitting my face. I was in control. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. A woman's voice, low. Back off, Granger. You're playing with fire. Click. My pulse raced. Not Daryl, someone else. I locked the house, checked the cameras. Nothing. But the threat lingered. This wasn't just about Krista anymore. Daryl, Victor. And whoever was pulling strings, they were coming for me and I was ready to fight. That woman's voice, low, venomous, haunted me. You're playing with fire, she'd warned. Sleep was a stranger. My Omaha house, once my anchor, felt like a trap. Every shadow, every creak set my nerves ablaze. But I wasn't folding. I'm Lucas Granger. And I'd built Horizon Enterprises' client empire with my own hands. No way was I letting Daryl Vance, Krista, or Victor Ramsey bury me. Morning hit cold and gray. I called Nora, my PI voice tight. Got a threat. Female, not Krista. Track Daryl's circle. Nora didn't blink. He's scared, Lucas. We're close. I'll dig into his contacts. Next I rang Ellen, the forensic accountant. Any more on the money? I asked. She was all business. Krista's careless. Another $25. 000 moved yesterday. Offshore account, Bahamas. I'm chasing the owner. My jaw clenched. Offshore. This wasn't just betrayal. It was a heist. I drove to Horizon's headquarters, the glass facade a reminder of my exile. The lot buzzed with my old team reps. I'd mentored their nods, heavy with respect. But I wasn't there to reminisce. I needed clarity. Krista, Daryl, Victor. They weren't just poaching my clients. They were dismantling my legacy, the trust I'd forged over a decade. 10 years of late-night pitches, missed anniversaries, and a bad shoulder gone. I wasn't letting that happen. Midday, Pete called. Doctor. Holtz rattled, he said. Your report's got the board scrambling. They want to meet tomorrow. You in? I gripped the phone. In. I'm ready to torch this. But Pete's tone shifted. Lucas, heads up. Holt mentioned Victor Ramsey. He's got shareholders tied to Horizon. You know him. My stomach twisted. Victor, the board member with a tycoon swagger, always too cozy with Daryl at client dinners. Yeah, I said low. I know him. That afternoon, Nora sent a new file. Photos of Krista and Daryl at an Omaha cigar lounge, her hand on his arm. Victor was there, sipping bourbon, eyes sharp. My blood boiled. Daryl was the affair, but Victor was the puppet master. If he was bankrolling this, it was bigger than a revenge story. But why me? My client list was gold, not a Fortune 500 empire. What did Victor want? No time to guess. My phone buzzed. Text unknown number. Check your mailbox. My pulse spiked. I strode to the porch, heart hammering. A plain envelope, no marking. Inside a USB drive and a note. They're not untouchable. Use this. No signature. I should have called Nora, but I was too wired. In my home office, I plugged in the drive. A video loaded. Grainy footage of Daryl and Victor in a country club lounge arguing. Daryl jabbed a finger. You said Granger was gone. Victor's voice was ice. He is. Krista's the hook. Keep her loyal. The video cut out. My hands shook. The hook. Krista wasn't just cheating. She was Victor's tool and I was the target. But who sent the USB? Friend. Foe. I forwarded it to Nora. Find out who's tailing Daryl, I said. Someone's playing both sides. She didn't sugarcoat it. On it. But Lucas Victor's connected. Old money, dirtier hands. This could get rough. Rough was my language. I'd closed impossible deals, outsmarted competitors, even survived a 19 merger scare. But this was blood. I met Pete at his office, showed him the video. His face darkened. Victor's a predator. If he's in Krista's not just unfaithful, she's trapped. I leaned forward. Then we free her. File ethics charges. Hit them all. Pete hesitated. Big move, Lucas. Sure. I met his eyes. They stole my life. I'm done playing nice. That night I couldn't stay home. Krista's scent lingered, a ghost of our past. I drove to a bar, ordered a whiskey. The burn steadied me. Then I saw her, not Krista, but Ellen, the accountant. She was at a booth sipping gin. Rough day, I asked, sliding in. She smirked. You're one to talk. We swapped stories, her bad breakup, my early days closing deals. For a moment I forgot the war. But as I left, she grabbed my arm. Lucas, be careful. That offshore account, it's Victor's. Krista's not the brains, she's the bait. Bait. The word hit like a sledgehammer. Krista wasn't just a cheater, she was Victor's pawn. But why me? My clients weren't a goldmine. The answer came at dawn. Nora called, voice urgent. Lucas, I found the USB source. Ex-employee of Victor's fired last month. Name's Hannah Blake, 40. She's got dirt, bribery, coercion. Wants to meet. I didn't blink. Set it up. Hannah was a mess, chain smoking in a diner. Victor wants Horizon's contracts, she said, eyes darting. Your clients were the key to his new firm. Krista's affair was his leverage. My fist clenched. And Daryl. Hannah snorted. Daryl's a pawn. Victor pays him to keep Krista hooked. But she's cracking. She called me begging for a way out. I leaned in. Out? Why's she still in? Hannah's eyes locked on mine. Victor's got leverage. Emails. From her past. Before you. The air vanished. Krista's 20s were wild. She'd run with a rough crowd, made mistakes. But blackmail, that was a new low. Part of me wanted to save her, pull her from the fire. But the part that had seen her with Daryl knew better. She'd chosen this. I slipped Hannah $600. Stay safe, I said. She nodded, already gone. The board meeting was hours away. I walked in, Pete at my side, Hannah's words burning. Krista was there, pale eyes sunken. Daryl sat beside her, smirking. Holt cleared her throat. Lucas, reconsider. We value your work. I laughed cold. Work. She stole my life. He stole my clients. I tossed Hannah's affidavit on the table, detailing Victor's scheme. Daryl's smirk vanished. Krista gasped. Lucas, I didn't save it, I snapped. You erased me. For him. I pointed at Daryl, who shifted, eyes narrow. Then the twist. Holt's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, paled. We need to pause, she said, voice shaky. The board got a tip. SEC's looking into Victor. Fraud, insider trading. Krista's eyes widened. Daryl shot up. This is nonsense, I said, voice like ice. You're next. The room froze. Holt adjourned, promising to regroup. Krista grabbed my arm as I left. Lucas, I'm sorry. I didn't know it'd go this far. I shook her off. You knew enough. Outside, Pete clapped my shoulder. You shook them. But Victor's not done. I nodded, scanning the street. A gray SUV idled, tinted windows. Trouble? I called Nora. Check Victor's movements. He's not backing off. She didn't mince words. He's not. Got a hit on his phone. He's meeting Daryl tonight. Old warehouse. You want in? I gripped the phone. Damn right. That night I parked a block from the warehouse, Nora's directions locked in. Rain slicked the asphalt, streetlights flickering. Daryl's car was there next to a Lincoln. Victor's. Voices echoed inside. I crept closer, phone recording. Daryl was yelling. You said Granger was out. Now the SEC's sniffing. Victor's voice was smooth, deadly. Relax. Krista's the fall guy. She'll take the hit. My blood boiled. They were framing her. After everything, she was their scapegoat. Then it went south. A flashlight beam hit me. Who's there? A third voice, not Daryl's or Victor's. I froze. Footsteps. I bolted, ducking behind crates. The beam swept past. My phone buzzed. Nora. Get out. Victor's got muscle. Too late. A hand grabbed my shoulder, spun me. A guy 6'5", built like a tank. Wrong move, he growled. I swung, caught his chin. He staggered. Pain exploded in my jaw as he hit back. I hit the ground, vision blurring. Headlights. A car screeched up. Nora. She leapt out, taser in hand. Back off, she shouted. The guy hesitated, ran. Nora hauled me up. You're an idiot. She muttered, shoving me into her car. We peeled out, rain blurring the windshield. What did you hear? She asked. I coughed, jaw throbbing. They're setting Krista up. Victor's the kingpin. Nora's jaw tightened. Then we take him down. Back at the house, I iced my face, mind racing. Krista, Daryl, Victor, a hydra, each head uglier. But Hannah's tip, Nora's hustle, Ellen's evidence, it was stacking up. I wasn't just fighting for my clients anymore. This was about justice. Ellen called. Big news. That offshore account, tied to Victor's trust. Tax evasion, laundering. I sent it to the SEC. I grinned, pain be damned. You're a rock star. She laughed. Just doing my job. But Lucas, Krista's been calling me. She's terrified. Daryl's unhinged. I didn't answer. Krista's fear didn't move me. She'd made her choice. Then the final twist. My home security system pinged. Footage from last night, someone tampering with my truck. I zoomed in. Daryl. He wasn't just threatening me. He was sabotaging my life. I called Pete, Nora, Ellen. We end this, now. The plan was tight. Bait Daryl, catch him in the act, tie him to Victor. But as I hung up, my phone buzzed. Krista. A voicemail. Lucas, I'm at the office. Daryl's here. He's losing it. Please. Her voice cracked raw with panic. I stared at the phone. Horizon's office. My old battlefield where I'd closed 1,000 deals. Now a trap. Or was it? Krista had lied before. But that fear, it was real. I grabbed my keys. This wasn't about saving her. This was about finishing it. Krista's voicemail seared through me as I sped toward Horizon's office, Omaha's skyline a blur in the night. Daryl's here. He's losing it. Please. My jaw throbbed from the warehouse fight, but adrenaline drowned the pain. The office was 25 minutes out a glass tower where I'd built my legacy. Our battleground now a potential ambush. I didn't trust Krista, not after her affair with Daryl Vance, her lies, but that panic in her voice cut deep. Trap or not, I was ending this tonight. I called Nora's speakerphone, crackling. Krista's at Horizon with Daryl. She says he's unraveling. I'm going in. Nora's voice was sharp. Lucas, wait for me. I'm calling the cops. I shook my head. No time. Just get there. I dialed Pete next. Daryl's at the office. Krista's in trouble. Maybe. If I don't make it, use Ellen's evidence. Crush Victor. Pete's tone was grim. Don't play hero, Lucas. I snorted. Not my style. The office tower loomed, its lights glaring. Daryl's car was parked crooked in the lot, Krista's sedan beside it. No Lincoln, no Victor Ramsey. Yet. I parked a block away. Grabbed a flashlight from my truck. Not a weapon, but it'd do. My phone buzzed. Ellen. SEC's moving on Victor. Warrant's out. Stay safe. I pocketed it, crept toward the side entrance, my old keycard still active. Voices echoed from the top floor Daryl's office. Krista desperate. This wasn't supposed to happen. Daryl's growl cut through. You wanted the clients. Now we clean this up. My grip tightened. Clean what? Me. Her. Both. I slipped inside the lobby, dark security cameras offline. Daryl's doing, no doubt. I took the stairs, heart-pounding flashlight low. The top floor was lit, Daryl's office door ajar. Krista stood by the desk, arms crossed, eyes wild. Daryl paced a knife in his hand, sweat dripping. He looked like a man cornered. Then the first twist. A shadow moved in the hall, Victor stepping in, suit crisp, eyes cold. My stomach dropped. He wasn't just the money, he was here to bury the evidence. I ducked into a conference room, pulse racing. Victor's voice was smooth. You're late, Vance. Granger's still breathing. Fix it! Krista's face paled. Victor, no. We had a deal. Victor smirked. Deals change. I had seconds. The fire exit was steps away, but I wasn't running. I edged closer, flashlight off, staying in the shadows. Daryl ranted. Granger's got evidence. The SEC's closing in. Victor laughed cold. You're the liability, Vance. You and her. Krista gasped. You promised me, I promised a payout, Victor cut in. You delivered Granger's clients. Now you're done. My blood boiled. Krista wasn't just a pawn, she was expendable. But I wasn't here to save her. I was here to end their game. I crept toward the office, heart hammering. Krista saw me, her eyes flickering. Daryl caught it, spun, knife raised. Granger. I dove behind a cubicle as he lunged, the knife grazing the wall. Krista screamed. Victor cursed. Not here, you idiot. Chaos erupted. I scrambled up, swinging the flashlight. It caught Daryl's arm, and the knife clattered across the floor. He roared, tackling me. We crashed into a glass partition, shards flying. My jaw screamed as he landed a punch. I kneed, his gut rolled free, grabbing the knife. Freeze. I shouted, aiming at Victor. Victor raised his hand, smirking. You won't kill Granger. You're not that man. I stepped closer, blade steady. Keep talking. Krista sobbed, backed against the desk. Lucas, I didn't mean quiet. I snapped eyes on Victor. Sirens wailed, red and blue flashing outside. Nora had delivered. Daryl froze, panting. Victor's smirk faded. You're done, I said. SEC's got your accounts. Your scam. Everything. The second twist hit like a freight train. Krista lunged not at me but at Victor. She grabbed a paperweight, swinging it at his head. You used me. Victor dodged, blood trickling from his temple. You're nothing. Her outburst gave me the edge. I yanked her behind me. Stay down, I said, knife steady. Police burst in, shouting, drop the weapon. I set the knife down, hands up. Daryl was cuffed, cursing. Victor tried to talk his way out, but the lead officer wasn't buying it. Victor Ramsey, you're under arrest. Krista collapsed, sobbing. I didn't look at her. Cops swarmed, taping off the office. I gave my statement, Krista's affair, the stolen clients, Victor's corporate coup. Krista sat in a corner, silent, broken. She tried to speak. Lucas, I walked away. Her words were dust. 9 years and she'd betrayed me with Daryl Vance. No apology could fix that. Days later, the fallout hit. Victor's arrest dominated Omaha, news fraud, bribery, money laundering. Daryl flipped, spilling everything for a lighter sentence. Krista faced charges conspiracy theft. Pete said she'd likely get probation, maybe a year. I didn't care. My clients were safe, most of my savings recovered. Ellen's evidence had sealed it. But the third twist came from Hannah, the whistleblower. She met me at a bar, slid me a flash drive. Krista's emails, she said. The ones Victor used to control her. I got them off his server. Do what you want. I stared at the drive. Part of me wanted to burn it, let her past die. But the part that had fought for my life kept it locked in a safe. Not for vengeance, but leverage. Krista was gone, but I wasn't taking chances. Weeks passed. I didn't return to Horizon. Instead, I got a call from Apex Solutions, a rising logistics firm in Lincoln. Their CEO, Tom Wheeler, 55, wanted me to head their client relations. I walked into their boardroom, my track record on display. Tom didn't blink. Name your price. I did. $300, 0.005% equity, and a public statement calling me the deal closer. He shook my hand. Done. Horizon's board begged me to return, offering a C-suite role. I met them in their tower, their faces desperate. Lucas, we need you, Doctor, Holt pleaded. I smiled, tore their offer in half. You had your shot, I said, walking out. The glass doors swung shut, final. Krista sent a letter a month later, scrawled on cheap paper. I was weak, she wrote. I'm sorry. I read it once, tossed it in the trash. Sorry didn't rebuild trust. Sorry didn't erase Daryl's smirk or Victor's knife. I'd fought for my life and I'd won. That was enough. Apex launched, my division contracts pouring in. I bought a new place sleek overlooking Omaha's skyline. Ellen and I grabbed coffee sometimes, her sharp wit a quiet spark. Not love, not yet, but something. But late at night when the city pulsed below, I'd see that knife in my hand, feel the weight of what I'd become. Was I a victor, a survivor, or just a man who refused to break? I don't know. Maybe you do. Did I do right, turning my back on Krista's tears? Or should I have offered her a hand one last time? What's justice when trust's been burned to ash, like what you heard? Hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Viora because the next story might just be your favorite one yet.